When you feel safe, when you feel warm, that's when I rise, that's when I crawl, gliding on mist, I'll be a sound, bringing the shits, when evils abound, in the dead of night. We jive talk, in the dead of night. We jive talk. Oh! Stop it right there on that. You got to get the claps. You got to get the claps in there. Welcome, welcome one and all. Back to you. Welcome again here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another edition of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. The biggest question here, are you willing to take the jump and jive with me? Right? Episode, 72? I believe we're on 72. I've got your comments here. We've got some hard-hitting news, rock, hard, heavy metal, hard rockin' news here. We don't play favorites. We report the news, and that's what we do. And then we give our little opinions at the end. That's where you put your comments. You can check this out on Spotify, or you can watch it on YouTube or whatever. There is the demon. That is Gene Simmons. With his mouth agape because he loved that Jive Talkin intro, and he's going, oh, I fell down. He fell ill. Gene Simmons fell ill. I just read this article today. He fell ill, and then he had to get a chair to finish the concert, and he sat down. But this says, in the same day, Gene Simmons is doing okay after falling ill during concert. Blames dehydration and humidity. They are in Brazil, I believe. Let's get into this interesting little nug-nugs. Gene Simmons is always a delight to cover here. And Gene Simmons is doing okay after he had to take a break and play sitting down during Wednesday night's Kiss performance. Geez, I guess they're right about those heavy costumes. Right? Paul's always going on about, oh, we could do this forever. We could do this for 100 years, pal. We just wear all these big, heavy costumes and we can't do anything. Kiss performance in Manaus, Brazil. Gene's Kiss bandmate, Paul Stanley, told the crowd that the bassist vocalist was sick. Someone's illness reportedly forced the Simmons' illness reportedly, how did I get someone's out of that? Illness reportedly forced, taking Ryan's advice, slow down, bro, slow down. Forced the band to halt the show for several minutes, but that he was eventually able to finish the performance. You ever take a drink of something and it goes down the wrong hole? Earlier today, Gene Simmons issued the following update on his condition via Twitter. Okay, kids, not a big deal. Thanks for your kind wishes. Last night we played Amazon Jungle Stadium, Brazil. Humidity and temperatures were sky high. I was dehydrated and was forced to sit for a song, but got back on stage in 5 minutes and finished the show. Okay, thanks, Gene. Christina Vitagliano. Ooh, I got it. Christina Vitagliano, the founder of Kiss Monster Mini Golf in Las Vegas, as well as the coordinator at Gene Simmons Axe Ltd, wrote in a separate post, "Hey everybody, what's up? It's Christina Vitagliano. Haha. The big guy's okay. Apparently, extreme humidity, bad food. You saying Brazilians got bad food? And a stage full of fire don't mix well when you're dressed head to toe in demon costume. All is good. Gene's tough." According to the Brazilian news site G1, Simmons asked at one point during the show for a member of the road crew to bring him a chair. From that point on, he performed the set while sitting down. Before Kiss took a short break during the concert, Stanley told the crowd, "You want some, don't you? You like that, don't you? We're gonna have to stop to take care of him, 'cause we love him, right? Let's give Gene a really loud Gene." And then added that he and his bandmates would return to the stage a little bit later. According to Brazilian journalist Igor Miranda, Kiss came back on stage approximately 5 minutes later, with Gene greeting the audience in Portuguese. Manus, all right, adding thank you. They say, my God, there he is, the demon. He's re-demonized himself and he's ready to go. Some media outlets and fans had speculated that heat exhaustion contributed to Gene feeling unwell. According to the National Institute of Meteorology, INMET, the temperature in Manus at the time of the concert was between 26.9 degrees Celsius, 80.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and 27 degrees Celsius, 80.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was only 80 degrees? What's he yapping off about? Well, we don't want to start with the elder abuse, you guys, okay? You can't make wisecracks on Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. It's elder abuse. Kiss launched its farewell trek in January 2019, but was forced to put it on hold because you know why. End of the Road was originally scheduled to conclude in July 22nd. We all know all this. Okay, there he is. He posted on his Twitter, which I'm blocked by. I've completely, deactivated my Twitter account because it's a garbage place. But when I did have a Twitter, Gene Simmons blocked me. And I think I was just made a remark about his book. And there's Christina Vitiliago. Hey, guys. The big guy's okay. Okay, everybody? No worries. Another story here, talking about some elder abuse. Look at this. Motley Crue's managers accuse Mick Mars managers or representatives of elder abuse. Now, I did a little TikTok on this, you guys. And if you remember when we were talking about Mick Mars in that last episode, he was going on about how Nikki Sixx treated him real rotten. Said that he had cognitive problems and couldn't play with the shit, do all those things. That's elder abuse. Even elders can give each other elder abuse. And maybe Motley Crue's managers have a bit of elder abuse they're doing to Vince Neil and all them, right? Motley Crue's manager has accused Mick Mars' representatives of elder abuse in the guitarist's legal dispute with his bandmates over their ongoing tour. Am I getting a cold again? Great. When Mars and co-founding members of Motley Crue announced his retirement from touring with the group last October as a result of worsening health issues, he maintained that he would remain a member of the band, we've talked about this last time, with John Five taking his place on the road. However, in a lawsuit which was filed last Thursday, April 6th, in Los Angeles County Superior Court, the 71-year-old musician said that after his announcement, the rest of Crue tried to remove him as a significant stakeholder in the group's corporation and business holdings via a shareholders meeting. And we talked about that too. God, they're getting on the goddamn Zoom. Guys, what are we going to do? Are we all here? You know, Nikki says, are we all here? Okay, guys, are all in favor of a scraping Mick Mars, and so he only gets 5%, say aye. Vince Neil's over there going, aye. Okay. You know? Specifically, Mars claims he was asked to sign a severance agreement that would divest him from his 25% stake in the band, various business interests in a return for a 5% stake in the band's 2023 tour. This stake, the lawsuit alleges, would be reduced to 0% for the future tours. Mick claims Crue's management later upped that offer from 5% to 7.5% stake in the band's 2023 tour, which would remain contingent on Mars divesting himself from the band and their business. When Mars refused to sign the papers, the band took the dispute to arbitration rather than public lawsuits so that the public would not be aware of the deplorable manner in which they treated their brother of 41 years, Mr. Mick Mars claims in the lawsuit. In a new Variety interview, Crue's manager of 29 years, Alan Kovac, that sounds like a dude that's chomping a cigar going, you don't need them. Let me tell you something, Nicky. You don't need a damn one of them, you know. Alan Kovac said he was so incensed by an interview Mars gave Variety after the suit was filed that he agreed to go on record addressing the musician's accusations, including whether or not the group's performances are largely on tape. Now, guys, put up a video this week, this Wednesday. It's live. It's up. It's going. It's called Motley Crue versus Motley Crue's Laptop. Now, you go watch that and tell me if they ain't playing. Now, let's see what Mr. Kovac has to say here, okay? Kovac said, Mars is coming out with a list of allegations to gain leverage in a smear campaign on Motley. He's attacked the band, and he's done it in a slanderous way, with false accusations and misrepresenting the facts to the fans. Mick is not the victim. The victims are Motley Crue and the brand, which Mick is so prideful of. But, he added, what's upsetting to me is not Mick, but his representatives, who have guided Mick to say and do harmful things to the brand he cares about so much. Motley Crue, really? Okay, so you're saying Mick Mars has done so many things, harmful things to the brand. But then you got Vince Neil out there squealing and squawking, and it sounds like a thousand crows getting hit by a car all at once, you know? And that doesn't seem to be anything. Not only does Vince Neil get on stage with Motley Crue and squeal and squawk like a thousand rodents being run over by a 18-wheeler, but then as soon as he gets off the tour with Motley Crue, he goes on the Vince Neil tours. They haven't said anything to him about it. Take a couple of vocal lessons, maybe. He has degenerative disease and people are taking advantage of him. It's called elder abuse. He continued, Mick's representatives have no idea what they've created, but I've stopped the band from speaking out about this. So they're not going to turn the fans against Mick. I don't think they could do that. But I am going to make sure the people understand that Mick hasn't been treated badly. In fact, he was treated better than anyone else in the band. And they carried him and they saved his life. Mars suffers, okay, we're not getting into that. In the lawsuit, where's he talking about? Okay, here's this. Everything is live with Nikki Sixx's bass playing and Tommy Lee's drum playing, insisted Kovac in his Variety interview. When they've used loops, they're still playing. There are augmented vocals which were recorded in the studio and are backgrounds behind the two ladies who are singing and other backing vocals by John Five and Nikki Sixx. And before that, Mick and Nikki, he described the pre-recorded vocal layering as well, as were you multi-track and you do gang vocals with like 20 people, just like all the bands do with the background vocals. They've got background vocals in the mix. I'm telling you, go watch that video. It's the whole thing. The drums, the bass, the guitars, all of it. But Nicky played his bass and always has. Vince Neil was singing better than he was before on the latest tour. That was in reviews, right? Now John Five is playing like who John Five is. I've heard John Five alive, perform, and I heard Mick perform. Both are great guitar players. Unfortunately, Mick is not the same. Now he's going to say John Five's better than Mick Mars. He hasn't been the same for a long time, which was in reviews. You see that the professionals knew. Def Leppard, which alternated headlining spots on the tour, knew. And Mars caused a train wreck up there because he would play the wrong songs and the wrong parts, even with the guide tracks. When he played the wrong song, it wasn't Nikki Sixx that had a tape. It was the sound man bringing it into the mix so the audience could hear a song. What? Even though the guitar player was playing a different song, that's I don't believe. He says, you guys that went to the stadium tour, tell me if it was he playing Home Sweet Home in the middle of Looks That Kill? You tell me. He says audience would hear it first, but sound engineers would fix it so that we could keep the song going. That sounds like you're cheating your audience. I heard it. I'd go to this. If I heard it, I'd go to the soundboard. Okay, we're done with that. But we're staying with the Motley Crue theme because, Tommy Lee's hitting it here. He's going to be featured in a Disney Plus series. This guy with his drives boats with his schlong. You going to let him around the Muppets? Motley Crue's Tommy Lee featured in a trailer for the new Disney Plus series. Oh, he's just in the trailer? The Muppets Mayhem. Motley Crue drummer is featured in the trailer for the new Disney Plus original series, The Muppets Mayhem. That's kind of a tongue twister, is it? In the teaser, which can be seen below, Lee and a parade of the famous faces praise Dr. Teeth, okay, we know him, and the Electric Mayhem Band. Oh, it's going to be something about them? Lee and a parade of famous faces praised Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band for their influence and place in rock history in the style of the retrospective documentary. The Mayhem, they taught Motley Crue how to shred and party. They tattooed their names on me, and I was passed out. What? I just snotted myself. I apologize about that. I'll just use my shirt. Is that all right? Is that gross? Is that wrong? The Muppet Mayhem will premiere all episodes on... I think I want to see this. Will premiere all the episodes on Wednesday, May 10th. The Disney Plus original series from the Disney branded television is produced by ABC Signature and the Muppets Studio. Jim Henson. The Muppet Mayhem follows the Electric Mayhem Band. Dr. Teeth on vocals and keyboards, Animal on the drums, Floyd Pepper on the vocals and bass, Janice on vocals and lead guitar, Zoot on the saxophone, and Lips on trumpet on an epic music-filled journey to record their first ever studio album. With the help of a driven young music executive, Nora Singh, the old school Muppet band comes face to face with the current day music scene as they try to finally record their first studio record. The Muppets Mayhem stars, okay, we're not going to read all these people off. Is this a little trailer thing here?
The Mayhem? They taught Motley Crue how to shred and party. They tapped
I love Animal
on me when I was passed out. What?
He wanted to show you his turkey baster. Dave Lombardo here, guys. Dave Lombardo, you know him? I was wondering about this because I saw, I hadn't listened to the interview, but it was with Chuck Billy of Testament, and he said he enjoyed his time with Dave Lombardo. I thought we just talked about, 15, 20 back about Dave Lombardo being in Testament, and now it says Dave Lombardo to sit out Testament's 2023 shows. Says future with the band is uncertain. That's the line that got me. The future with the band is uncertain. Is Louis Clemente coming back? Are they talking to him on the phone late night, in their underpants? Testament, they all sit around on, hitting each other with pillows and shit, and they go, Louis, what are you doing over there? Why don't you come and hang out with us again? Come on. Dave Lombardo says he will sit out the remainder of the Testament 2023 shows with no guarantee that he will return to the band. Lombardo, who was the guest drummer on Testament's 1999 studio album The Gathering, formerly joined the long-running San Francisco Bay Area act last year. The former Slayer drummer is currently a member of the Misfits, Mr. Bungle, Empire State Bastards, whom I want to check out, and then this new one called Satanic Planet, which I also want to check out. Among others, he's also got something with his wife. Remember we did that video about that Sensual Valentine song that they did? He also played with Suicidal Tendencies from 2016 up until 2020. I mean, the bro has got a hell of a resume. Would you agree with that he's got one hell of a resume? In a brand new interview with Blabbermouth, Lombardo was asked to detail his 2023 plans and priorities. Let's start with Suicidal, he said. I haven't been able to play with Suicidal because he, Mike Muir, is not on tour as often or as much as I'd like. When I joined them in 2016, man, it was on. But then the pandemic happened, and I believe he has health issues. I think he had a couple of surgeries on his back. It's limited the amount of shows he does a year. I haven't played with them in a while. Yeah, he looks. Mike Mars looks like he's had a few back problems. The way he stomps around on that stage. He continued, I'm focusing on Misfits, Mr. Bungle, and Empire State Bastard. And in 2022, when I was on tour with Testament, I had stuff lined up that was starting to build for 2023 with Testament. We were having several scheduling conflicts. I couldn't back out of them. I won't be joining them on their upcoming tours of 2023. My focus is on Bungle, who I've recorded an album with back in 2019, and we did a live album, Empire State Bastard. I recorded an album, I think that's like extreme metal or something, like grindcore or something, industrial. I recorded an album from them in 2020. That's going to finally see the light of day later this year. We've already released a single. I'm not doing the upcoming shows with Satanic Planet. I won't be performing with them. Instead of doing live shows with Satanic Planet, I really like to just be more on the production and songwriting side. Sure you do. That's where the green beans in the pie is. If you write the song and create the song, that's where the money is. It's very industrial, very dark. So I was right. But I was thinking it was Empire State Bastard, but Satanic Planet, that's the industrial, very dark. It's got a very evil vibe, but great guys nonetheless, even though they're evil. Some of the most kindest people I've ever met in my life, but totally evil, which contrasts with the music that is so evil. So there you have that. Let's watch Metallica. I just thought this was neat. Jimmy Kimmel, he is so clever with his comedy brains that he has and his writers and stuff. And Metallica's going to be spending the next 4 nights on Jimmy Kimmel. Each night they're going to do songs and stuff. And this last evening they did Master of Puppets. It's a huge hit. Everyone's horny because of Stranger Things did it. And so Jimmy Kimmel sends these guys, you can see them right here, sends all 4 of the Metallica fellows to an actual, see if they can become masters of puppets. Literally. Oh, that is just fun. Can the Metallica master actually puppets? Watch hilarious Jimmy Kimmel live skit. Well, it says it all. It's all right there. And Jimmy's probably going to give us the setup. Oh, and I'll tell you this right now. If in fact this gets dinged, you're not hearing any of this right now, okay? Just so we know. So you can go ahead and watch that at your own leisure at any time, because we got more important business going on here. We got your comments. And Ryan Wade is up first. Thank you for slimming it down a little bit. Mick Mars should be receiving an equal share of music sales, no doubt, and should also receive a stipend for life. To be cut out of all corporations and LLCs, essentially erased, is absurd. Unless he owes a bunch of money, then that's a different story. All this Crue and Kiss drama is newsworthy, but I hate it. The Ace interview was a bit difficult to listen to. Even Eddie was getting frustrated trying to reel Ace back in. I have not listened to that, but I have heard that Ace Frehley did not deliver the. I mean, we did the story on it, where he basically said, well, he talked to some good, wholesome people. They told him not to sink to that level, but everybody wanted to hear the dirt, and Eddie's no different. He was going, "Why don't you tell us the dirt, Ace?" Still Ryan here. The Masked Singer is a horrible idea and should never be televised. No clue how that became a hit. Maybe if the singing was actually live, singing while sweating and hyperventilating in a costume would be entertaining. The pre-recorded auto-tuned vocals are totally bogus. Yeah, there's a lot of that auto-tune in everyone's voice. You know who got kicked out of there? Like on the 3rd episode? Patti LaBelle. And then some dumb, like a goddamn basketball player or something wins the whole thing. You're like, you kicked Patti LaBelle out in 3 episodes? Anywho, the pre-recording, totally bogus. Dee's instincts are good on paper. Sharknado was the dumbest idea ever. It wasn't meant to be hilarious. Once Howard Stern started talking about how amazingly bad it was, it became a cult classic, and they made the sequel funny on purpose as if they were in on the joke all along. Yes, I do remember that. Please don't ever learn how to use that keyboard. It's perfect just the way it is. So you're saying you want me to cancel the classes that I've already set up? I'm going to a guy I think his name's Steinman. And I was going to start learning how to play it. But okay, I'll cancel him then. There's your heart. And we got Gina Cole coming in. It says, Team Mick all the way. That's good. You got Johan Longfist coming in here. He says, thank you, Shane, for your update about the Mick Mars Motley Crue issues. I like you a lot, man. Well, guess what, Johan? I'm in love with you. I can't help it. No. I like you just fine. That's why I'll prove it right now with a heart. Ding. There you go. Miss Althea coming in. Here we go. The dumbstruck fool says, well, take what you can get from Metallica, I guess. Isn't a heavy hitter acknowledgement better than nothing? Question mark. I don't know. Motley Crue, go Mick, go. Just like the Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer, go. I believe every word he says. I call sabotage on the in-ear monitors. Well, you guys got to get over there. I know you guys have already seen it, but I did that. It's called Motley Crue Live versus Motley Crue's Laptop Live. And go check that out. The one and only Spaceman is out there here. I love the guy, but the situation has officially given me a headache now. The story got to the point of sounding more like a Carrier Wars? Career Wars? Oh boy, I'm a dummy. Commercial, it's Career Wars? What? Okay, anyways, commercial instead of the matter of this dirt Ace claims he has on Paul that supposedly nobody else knows. I honestly think the change of heart only came about because he realized it was going to be much of a bomb drop. It wouldn't be much of a bomb drop after all. I will reiterate what I said last week, and that is somebody knows. Trust me. And why aren't those guys using consumer cellular? I don't know. What is that? Consumer cellular. Oh, that's because Ace is a Verizon man, right? Is there something called consumer? I got to look into it. They're fantastic. Well, she says it right there. Consumer cellular. They're fantastic. I got to know about it. Gene Simmons here, Miss Althea says, I am pretty confident he could have afforded to donate a hell of a lot more than $250K. Probably. Maybe he's doing one of them, challenges where he's trying to get Eric Singer and all them to cough some money up. I mean, think about it. That's $1 million. If they all cough 250 up. Miss Altheon, Sebastian Bach. Sebastian Bach was on a 2014 show called Sing Your Face Off, not The Masked Singer. That's right. That was better, though, wasn't it? Sing Your Face Off, because they actually just gave him the microphone and said, what do you want to do? And they had to go out and do it. No comment otherwise about D. Miss Althea's got something about the classic Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's an epically bad classic. It always lulls me in record time. Perfect, I need a nap, but I'm having trouble falling asleep, so I need watch something that will put me sleep. Fair. But that's those little dashes in there. I don't know if they help or hinder. I need a nap, but I'm having trouble falling asleep, so I need watch something that will put me fair. I remember Superfuzz, Ryan. Haven't seen it in 40 years, but yeah, it was so bad. So there you have that, Miss Althea coming in. Don't tread on metal. Recommendation for you, Shane. Uh-oh. Morbid Sin, Children of War. Fantastic track. Sounds like a mix of Exciter. Okay. And Whiplash. All right, well, you're getting a thumb for that, and please repost that somewhere else. And there's White Bread. He hasn't been in here in a while. When I listen to Ace talk in an interview, I always think his voice sounds like a parrot having a long conversation. That's a good one. Yeah. You know, parrots, they got that. Mah! Mike Buchanan here. He's got some stuff. Today's movie that you watch that are terrible, but we love them anyways. This week movie, Frankenstein Meets the Space Monster. Made in the mid-'60s and definitely has the typical 60s groove baby dialogue and music. A alien species has come to Earth to abduct women to repopulate their planet. I'm going to say Mars. Frankenstein is really a cyborg astronaut whose rocket gets blown up when trying to launch into space and when the aliens thought they were being attacked. Look out, Puerto Rico, you are now under attack from Frankenstein and aliens. Even as bad as it was awesome. All right, there you go. Bad movie. The bad movie suggest. Sorry, but I'm getting tired of bands who are getting into their golden years fighting. Yeah, this includes both Mick and Ace. They're all I've got to say on that. That's all I got to say on that subject. Gene is trying once again to get the limelight when others from the band get any kind of attention. Yes, it's nice that he gave money to charity. What's the Masked Singer? Seriously, I had to look that up. Never seen it. Yeah, well, it's hard to miss. It's easy to miss, I would say. I tried to get through a season, but that Ken Jeong, man, he is just off the charts. So's that other one, too. Jim Carrey's ex-wife. Throwing this one out there, the Sharknado movies are some of the best movies ever made. Oh, my goodness. And now, the Jive Talkin jokes of the week from Mike Buchanan. What did Captain Ahab say when Moby Dick pooped on him? Whale shit! See, I'm paying attention to your videos until the very end. Oh, so that's like a double layered. Because did I mention something about that? About her, right? All right, you're a good man. Just reading that there's a small island off the coast of Italy with 5 million Sicilian people. I thought to myself, that's the biggest number I've ever heard. 5 million Sicilian? That's a lot. That Sicilian's 100 trillion. 5 million Sicilian people. Okay. My wife asked me, what starts with F and ends in K? I said, no, it doesn't. Oh. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Takes me a minute, but I get them. I'd be curious if people get them faster than me. They say, I got it. He's still waiting. Me. I'm terrified of random letters. Therapist. You are? Me. Oh! That's a scream. Therapist. I see. Oh! I'm lost on that one. And finally, if two witches watch two witches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches watched two watches, which witch would watch which watch? I know one of those pretty dang good, and it goes like this. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck as much as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Had that on a pencil in elementary school. And instead of using that pencil to write and do homework and learn things, I just read that over and over again. I said, by God, I'm going to get this down so good that everyone will be amazed at recess. And I did. And it stuck with me my whole life. There you go, sir. I don't know if I missed a heart last time. I feel like I did. Vermont Bread coming in here. Shane, please watch the show where Metallica played with Joey Jordison from Slipknot. Really cool. And there's a reply under there. I'll have to check that out. Yes, sir, I will. Daniela. Is that Daniela? Daniela's Beck? Amazing Ace and Eddie Trunk impression. Laffity. I'm already. Who is it? Come back. I see. I'm getting that at thing again. I hate that. It's Daniel. It's a guy with a mustache here. Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. He's got a lot of emoticons laughing. So I love that. And from Eddie Trunk. Hey, Daniel, we thank you so much for joining the Jive Talkin podcast, which is almost as good as my things that I do. There you go, my friend. Michael Espinoza, Team Mick Forever. Yep. And Jolly Jake Lavelle coming in. Ace Frehley had a cease and desist order from Kiss lawyers, which then in turn changed his heart. Cue both versions of Hide Your Heart. Yeah. Oh, hey. Come on, boo, boo, boo. Better hide your heart. Yeah. You guys be good, be well, be happy, be kind, be courteous, be kind, be due diligent, get out there, breathe deep, get the sweat. It's a water substance that comes out of you. Get some of that going. Get up, get the cardiovascular going, and never hide your heart from me, because I'll find it. All right? Let's get into something here, and please don't piss me off. Always goes to that one. Love that. Jive. Jiving all over town. Round. Jiving, good. Jiving in the hood. Jive with me in ecstasy. Jive, talking, jive talking, and jive talking, and jive with me. Shit.